my precious things. The heart turns into stone, hardly stop. Bedtime story, happy ending game, just a snapshot in time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride without sound downs. Precious things. My heart turns into stone, hardly to stop. Bedtime story, happy ending, it's just a snapshot in time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride without sound downs. Bedtime story. Sometimes you have to play a faulty role, but what matters is that your eyes shine in the moment. Happy stopper. Bedtime story. Happy ending. It's just a snapshot in time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride with ups and downs.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. As you can probably tell by my smexy voice, I am somewhat recovering from a illness. Last Wednesday, the reason why there was no stream on Wednesday was because I was really fucking sick and I didn't want to do anything, so I didn't. Yesterday we streamed Yick. Luckily that didn't take too much out of me, all things considering. But I feel better. That's the worst part about this. I feel better. But feeling better doesn't really mean anything if your voice is still shredded and you still effectively I sound like a chain smoker. Because I keep coughing because my nose is still clogged up. That just takes time to get rid of. So yes, have no fear, everyone. I know. Thank you very much. Let's see, Candy Valentine S for following from a few days ago, and Wasabi23 for following. It's going to be very funny. I know a couple people have been coming to the streams more actively. Because I've been I've been streaming Yick, funnily enough. So, God. I'm doing my best here, everyone. Now, last time on Super Saturday Hero Showtime, we wrote the end of how characters are supposed to act. How we make characters. That's probably the most important part about what happened there. I did change some things in between. couldn't really do everything I wanted to because I was dying horribly. However, last time we technically ended off right here with the idea of storyboards. This is effectively what you are doing in the game. One kind of scene is exposition scenes. What does the exposition scenes actually mean? Exposition scenes legitimately are just the GM telling you what is going on. Every single game will have them, but we don't call them anything. We just call it the GM explaining shit that's going on. Here, it is an actual scene called an exposition scene. All that it is. Then we have adventure scenes. This is one of those parts of a game where I really, really wish I could just say, play the fucking game. Because that's what this section of the game is. It's the play the fucking game part of the game. Yeah, that's really what the adventure scenes are all about. It's, you know, play pretty much like what do you do and how we play in it, which did lead to misadventures, which effectively misadventures are checks made. How do I want to word it? They're everything that isn't necessarily threatening to you. They're just things to get information, things to get access to something, things to get help with something. That's the idea. It is, I want to jump to the adjacent building. I want to lift a heavy boulder. I want to converse with a member of the ensemble. I want to learn about endangered animals or whatever. Doesn't matter really what it is. I'm trying to get something. That's what misadventures are. It's the wacky happenstance that we make rolls for because we are playing a tabletop role-playing game. And Monday rules? I don't know what that is. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh god. If you hear horrible, horrible noises, just understand that I am doing my best here. This also leads into chaotic situations. All a chaotic situation is something where there is some actual genuine threat going on, and everything is broken down to this difficulty system. Effectively, if things are going well for you, if it's an easy chaotic situation, let's say it's only tough, you only have to beat target number 15 until you solve the crisis. On the other hand, if you don't solve the crisis, bad things happen. So it could be damage, where it's like, hey, you take oof equal to the difficulty of the damage. So hey, if it's a tough challenge, we're doing our best. We try to beat the difficulty at the very end. Let's say we roll. I failed. I would take 3 damage. Not that high, generally speaking, but it adds up. It goes by morale. Morale is effectively your plot power. It's your underhealth that gets affected by it. Broken, the idea behind broken is that you are into that match as long as you can beat the target number. If second you lose, you lose. And then we have obviously timers, which timers just click down at the end of the phase. It's kind of a janky way of doing this, but it should work. For those curious, yes, this is literally just taken from the JoJo RPG because it works. Beginner anime a la DBZ or One Piece and the like. Not really in the scope of the game, really. Nothing saying you can't, but yeah, not really in the scope. But this should be easy enough to understand. It's things happen. You are in situations which demand you do something. Not exactly the most creative thing in the world, but it is situations that demand something from you. Now, we do have the idea of action scenes. Now, this is where things were getting a little bit iffy. One of the big things when it comes to, quote, combat. What about Toonami rules? Saturday morning cartoons are in the same vein as after-school cartoons. Not really. This is, for context solid, this is very much more along in the classic He-Man, your, G.I. Joe 80s. Like the old G.I. Joe shows and things like that. This is what it's supposed to be emulating, a very particular kind of, genre conventions. A little bit over the top. Most of these are TVY. Oh, God. Ugh. But, as I was saying, if you want to do something like that, you can. I cannot stop you, obviously. But, when we get to the concept of combat in a game like this, it gets a little bit iffy. So, you're not really supposed, you're not supposed to necessarily fight. That's the thing. If you really watch some of these old 80s cartoons, He-Man doesn't stab Skeletor. He deflects laser beams at him, or he uses the sword to shoot energy beam or something. It is never a direct way to say, I'm going to shoot you with a gun or whatever. Even G.I. Joe, like, they would use guns, but no one ever actually died. And if they did die, it was secretly a robot or something. Or they fought the, let me see if I can find the G.I. Joe laser guns. Which, technically, a vast majority of the G.I. Joe guns from the 80s cartoon do not fire guns, technically. They fire laser guns. Yes, in G.I. Joe, they do not fire guns, they fire laser guns. Because we can show a laser gun being fired. We cannot show a real gun being fired. Because of, kind of see the way everything looks here. They may look like real guns, but they aren't. They shoot laser beams, and you can't die from a laser beam, obviously. Yeah, you're also going to hear, those do not look like real guns. You can kind of get the vague idea that it is definitely gun-shaped. That's all that really matters, because if you're a 5-year-old boy, you don't know what a fucking AUG looks like. Little Timmy doesn't know what an AUG looks like, and he can't get weird about it. He damn knows he wants a Duke action figure shooting something that he knows is a gun, and it goes pew pew pew. Where'd the bolt go, though? Why do you make me laugh? The pain, it goes through my fucking lungs. Yeah, no, it's, I'm gonna be honest, I'm going to, do my best to mute myself when I can. Dude. Willing to do my best to mute myself. However, I also make no promises on that either, because, I am a human being, and when a coughing fit comes on, there's no stopping it sometimes, and I'm like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I'm coming home, mama. So, but yeah, that's kind of the idea. You're not really supposed to fight necessarily. It's more about finding like a clever solution, clever solutions to immediate problems. I prefer to hear all the hacking and coughing, that way I know you're alive. But that's the secret, Solid. I don't want to be alive. I want to die. But, yeah. you're effectively trying to find solutions to immediate problems, where rather than, in a vast majority of games, usually the best option is to beat it with a stick. It is to attack. That is an action that should take place. And sometimes you might be able to do like a special attack. It is, you have your basic attack, which is basic damage. And then you might get like an advanced attack, which requires like a special resource. Effectively, what we need to do here is our basic attack requires that special resource now. What do I actually mean by this? You are not actually going to be attempting to hit people or damage people, really. You're trying to build rev points. Now, what I want to have happen is, like in Fear and Hunger, the concept of rev points are pretty much every round you get more go juice to spend, and it is a pretty much constant push and pull. Do I spend my go juice now and get a little benefit but keeps me alive? Do I want to hoard it and save it till later? But what if I die? There's always that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That was the point of rev points. What I want to have happen now is I want to... You get rev points by doing... You do things. You do things to build rev points. Then you spend rev points to actually deal damage. That is how you are actually going to be dealing big hits. That's how you are actually going to be defeating the enemy, is by building these rev points up. Mostly because you do not actually have to... You do not do damage, necessarily. You apply oof. Is oof. And oof literally is everything. Doesn't matter what it is. All we know is that it is oof. It can be any kind of quote-unquote damage. All that matters is that you have applied oof to it. That you have hit them and you have done damage. Now, effectively, your big hit, your actual for realsies attacks are big damage, big risk, big everything. You want to use those rev points to say, okay, now is the time. I'm going to be using these rev points to do something big. Oh god. So, that's kind of the idea. Not perfect, but probably the only way I can do the it is probably the only way I can reliably do the way I would want to. Because, turns out, this is a very complicated game. Yeah, like, this is, unironically, one of the issues, and I was kind of talking about this earlier, like, the thing that's been throwing me off about this game a lot is that it's a generic system at its core. And because it's a generic system at its core, you have to write things differently than the way you would expect to write to them. And because you have to write to them in a very specific way, it's more confusing to write than you would think. So, alright, let's get to it, everybody. So, so let me turn up some funky tunes here real fast, because yeah, I'm probably going to be a little bit quiet for right now, because Notepad is feeling great. So, let's see. You should play the funny song. No, we are not playing any funny music. A fabulous secret power, yes. I'll have you know, by the way, Sakalicious does have multiple different songs based on He-Man. I want you to know that. That's the funniest part. Let's see. Let's see. Each action scene slows down, similar to a chaotic situation. But instead, with each of the stars, villains, and henchmen. Let's see. With each of the stars, villains. Oh god. Stars, villains, and henchmen. Ugh. All right. Yeah, I didn't mute my mic there. I just hit the no sound on OBS button. Oh yeah, gamers. Swear, I'm not smoking. I'm not a chain smoker. I swear to God. Ugh. Let's. How do we let's see. How do I want to word this? What would be a fun way to word initiative, everyone? Come on, be creative for Notepad. He's sick, dying. It feels like there should be something we can do for animation. I'm trying to think. Like, there should be a good thing, and I don't know what it is. What is, like, part of me wants to say that it's, like, frame. Honestly, yeah, honest to God, we could use that. That's not a bad one. Each of the stars, villains, and henchmen determining their time slot. Determining their... each of the... So, time slots are determined... Let's see, time slots are determined by rolling a 1d20, by rolling a 1d20 plus antics. Be rolling a 1d20 plus antics, and from there, each of the... Actually, do we want to have a random initiative? No, I don't think a random initiative. Each star... Let's see, each star's time slot is based on their antics. Antics plus savvy. No, it's antics plus bravery. No. Savvy, we do bravery plus savvy. Each star's time slot is based on their bravery plus savvy. full value d6 bravery plus d8 savvy equals 14. Equals 14. Based on the bravery and savvy's full value. Not a bad idea, actually. Let's see. Each star's time slot is based on the bravery plus savvy's full value. From there, it will descend in order from greatest to low, to highest. From there, it will descend in order from highest to. From there, it will descend in highest lowest with each star, villain, or henchman taking an action. Stars normally only have one action to perform every time slot, but they may reduce their time slot by 5, because if you have absolute 0, if you somehow have 0 bravery, 0 savvy, you would operate on 0. Like, that is, you would just act dead last, effectively. Like, yeah, that is, I don't think there's anyone who that technically covers. Everyone will at least have 4. Actually, no. Reduce their time slot by half, rounding that. Let's see. But they may reduce their time slot by half, to gain a second act. No. Let's see. How do I want to do? If I want to give characters extra actions, but you lower your base initiative to get the extra action. Pretty much at the start of your turn, say, I want to take 2 actions. Okay, you have your base initiative. You've decided to take an additional action, you reduce it. How would you do that? Like, see, if we say we half it, and let's say I have a 8, let's say I have a 12 and you have a 16. If I half it, I would go on 6 and you would go on 8. Alright, if I do it by 5, I would go on 7, you would go on 11. I think having it works. Roll the dice and reduce it by that much. Man, if I was feeling dangerous, I maybe would. Let's see, but they may choose half their time slot to instead take have their time slot to instead take a second action. Okay, so we know we could do once all of the stars, villains, henchmen, and minions have taken their actions and resolved their problem and have taken their actions. Let's see, if we have a time slot, it's actually it would be time slot television block. The block summation of all time slots is complete, and it will begin the next. It'll begin the next block. And begin the next block. Ah, God, that sounds like a terrible. That is a terrible TV block. TV block synonym. We got a good for that. Block programming. Strand. Feels like there should be a better word for that. What would be a better word for a set of time slots? It's a block. That's what it would be, and that's the worst part about it. A block would be the correct term. Call it a clock. If I come up with another term, it will. Animation of all time. Look, it'll begin the next time. Let's see. The end of the block is when all timers or effects take place. The Let's see, a plane breaking apart. Let's see, a plane breaking apart won't break in the middle of a. Let's see, the middle of a block only at the end of it. There we go. That's kind of the idea. Is like, hey, like no matter what you do, it will not. You know, things only happen at the end of a block. I'm going. It gets very annoying when you cannot add things to your dictionary anymore. And sometimes on Google, it's very fun. Alright, so now we start getting to add in some so very special episodes. Very special episodes, and you MBN producers. To inspire children across MBM producers know the power of a special episode spot to inspire children across the nation. And as such, when it is a special episode focused around a specific star, they may take a second action. They may take a second action for free. They may increase their time slot. They may increase their time slot by 1d20. By 1d20, making sure they will probably be acting first. That's the point. It's their special episode. There we go. So yeah, if it's your very special episode, you get to roll a d20 for your baseline initiative. Let's see. We actually no, it wouldn't be the MBN requests. We need a shite. The worst part is, like, I can feel the cough coming on. and I know there's nothing I can do to stop it. That's the true agony. I know there is not a single goddamn thing I can do to stop it. Oh god, did you hear my coughing? I didn't mean for that. I've got my hotkeys on OBS, but a fun fact, if OBS is not in the focus of the screen, it will not actually register hotkeys, which I always thought was very funny. Why? I do not know. It is very annoying. It is a very particular issue. Probably affects no one except me, because I don't have a dual monitor setup. Because I'm not a nerd. So we want to use alternative time slot. Alternate time slot generator. To edit or change how the time slot system functions. Time slot system functions. Here are a small number edits to actually add, remove, to add or change so do this. First rule is going to be plot power, which is plot power spending. Plot power reinforcement. Plot power, how do I want to word this? It would be plot power, there we go. Plot power performance. There we go. PPP. Have no fear, everyone. Make sure you got your PPP set up. Hey. Me, Fat Albert. How you doing, everybody? Chain-smoking notepad here, ready to save Eternia. Gremlin notepad. Hey, doing my best here. Yeah, PP. See, they started me at 5 plot power to add a second action. Without time slot, we want to do red. 120 plus block, actually not block, plus bravery or savvy. To determine their time slot, we'll roll 2d20 plus bravery plus savvy to determine their time slot. By half, but I still reduce it by half to get second action. Go, pretty much it's constantly re-rolling. You don't know when you're going to be going during your time slot. We are cooking up combat tonight for Super Saturday Hero Showtime. Cooking up combat. Well, technically action scenes. Because remember, we can't have anyone getting into actual for realsies fights, because we don't get into actual for realsies fights here. We would get crucified by the parents' organizations if we tried to do one of those. Yeah, sorry, He-Man fucking stabs Skeletor. Your little Timmy is now traumatized. What is the one? To gain a third action. There we go. To gain a third action, to a fourth of its value, a half of a half. What would be a final? Let's see. Passing off their time slot. Not really the most innovative there. So we've understood what initiative, and we know what initiative, and we know what the round structure is. So we leave it heading. Okay. Oh, yeah, heroes go first. There we go. Ooh. He-Man stab skill, then little Timmy decides to stab little Johnny with his own toy sword. 3 children have died because you want to kill the bad guy directly. Something stabbed or shot, you make an actual skeleton or robot, especially robot. Exactly. Again, like I was talking about earlier, in G.I. Joe, nobody has a gun. Everyone's got laser guns. Because laser guns aren't real. You can't hurt people with a laser gun. Let's see. How do I want to structure this? Let's play a game, everyone. How do we structure this godforsaken mess? So, what do we? So we've got round. Let me see. We've got. God damn it. We've got round and turn structure. Easy enough. I think we should do battlefields. Pretty much. How are we fighting? Actions in combat. I don't think we need reactions necessarily in this game. I don't think that's quite what we're looking for. That would lead us to... Oh, it would be rev points. So, no, okay, so we would need to do something like this. Okay. So, one thing about the, oh god. One thing about the actual map, I was having some internal debates on, is part of me wants to put in, like, a map, and another part of me literally does not. It's a very confusing situation. because the part of me that wants to put in a map, Ryutama range band hours. See, it doesn't even feel really appropriate to do any kind of map whatsoever. That's the problem. It's a very convoluted issue. Because maps placed on a playset. You see what I was gaming with here. Effectively, what I was for those who don't speak English, and may not know what the term playset means. Don't worry, I knew a lot of people growing up who didn't know. A vast majority of the time, you would be able to buy like a playset. Effectively, it had multiple little things that you could touch and play around with. You kind of see this is the G.I. Joe one. You might see like Transform. Let me see if we got like the Transformers one. Usually it's like a bigger thing where you can put multiple other action figures to do things. Let me see. Team NT might have had one. Yeah, there we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously. This is the playset. That's the entire point. Like, we want to see these kind of get pretty intricate. In Cartoon Action Hour, how they use playsets is that playsets are physical places that you can interact with to get Castle Grayskull playset. Yeah, exactly. So like Lego boxes, you're getting it. They're not, you don't see them really that much anymore. Like, they're like, you see all here, we get the little action figures, and a lot of the time, if we click this one, for example, usually there was like a thing you could press and something would happen. Oh, it's exciting door opening action or something. Oh, it's a trap door. Since you've clicked the button, oh, we did it. We defeated Skeletor because there's the trap door. Seal him in the dungeon because Skeletor's evil. Oh no, look, He-Man's fighting Skeletor. Uh-oh, he triggered the trap door and now he's in the basement. Uh-oh. Luckily, Wolverine's here to save him. Isn't that right, Indiana Jones? You know what the idea is. They changed, they had a lot of toys to play with. That was always the point. Like, you always wanted to expand and get more play sets. Because they all did something different. So there's a limited space. Oh god. No, you can still find play sets. They're not really as common anymore though. Usually every year they roll out one for a popular show. But they aren't what they used to be. Effectively, what I was thinking of was like a pseudo-zone system. Yet again, Notepad tries to reinvent the fucking zone system. I know. I can laugh, don't worry. But effectively, it's a zone system that every single location is just a point of interest. Nothing else matters. It just matters that there's something interesting there. Yeah, the money now. Yeah, because you can buy multiple of them. If you bought one Castle Grayskull, you didn't need to buy more Castle Grayskulls. You can buy more Paw Patrol cars. You can always buy more Paw Patrol cars. That's the joke. That's the best part. Like, it's effectively... Like, these things aren't big. That's always the Blue Archive. Not even quite that. The Blue Archive system, that uses a very modified range band system. But not a bad idea. Not a range band system. Effectively, a very heavily modified action. It's a very heavily modified version of what it would be almost is you could reuse Void. I don't think we need to be anything random. Like, that's the thing. Because there might be like 5 spots. Because you don't need more than 5 spots. You don't need more than a handful of car wash gaslamp. See, the problem is, I would have to fucking plug walk my ass into Walmart, being like, I would like to buy Hot Wheels, please. This is a work expense. Sir, this is a work expense. The interconnectivity. Yeah, you're... Oh, Jesus. Trying to say words here. It's getting a little bit difficult. You're seeing what I'm trying to... There's a few ways of doing it. What I was thinking about doing is something like... It's either... How do I want to word this? Okay, go away, Yicklor. I can't avoid you. Go away. Tomorrow we end it. Well, we get the first base ending. So, effectively, we are limited down to option A. Do option A and option B. Option A. Option A is limited open space. Option B is limited closed space. What does this actually mean? So, I've got a map. Here is my whiteboard. I'm going to draw a whiteboard on a whiteboard if I can draw it in a fucking straight line. So, here's my whiteboard. Option A is effectively saying, here are the 5 points. You can go to any of these points. Doesn't really matter what they are, and you can always go to different points. It does not matter what the points are. It does not matter where the points are. It just matters that you are in A. You are in A. Or you are in B or C, D or E. Now, mind you, one turn you can be in A. Next turn you're in D. Next turn you're in C. There's no connectivity between them. Option 2 is effectively the closed space, which is you can only move to an adjacent point on the map. So if I'm in A, I cannot go to B directly. I have to go to C first. On the other hand, if I'm in C and I want to go to D, I have to go to B first. Then I go to D. Both of them have their merits. Good thing Hot Wheels is cheap. I found a few for $2. You have D4 and D6 each room. Have nice for a check, except it also gives you your layout. You've personally, I prefer option B. Yeah, that again, the idea there was to get more of the playset vibe, if that makes sense. Whereas the idea that little Timmy can just decide that He-Man is now in a different room. Why? Because He-Man's in a different room now, because I said so. I am a little child playing with action figures. This has always been one of the difficulties with this, is like, are we in the show logic? Are we not in the show? Are we in the world logic? Are we in the meta show logic, if that makes sense? Oh. 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 Let's go. Fuck yeah. I feel alive. So, I'm like holding back a cough there, guys. I'm doing my best. So we want to do every reaction seed takes place in a playset. a specific area, a specific broken apart into interesting set pieces or situations that allow the stars to shine. Each playset. Hey, I'm doing my best here, people. I, Notepad, stand alone against the darkness. Like, this was the funny thing people were even talking about. Like, oh man, yeah, Notepad, you should have streamed on Wednesday. I'd be like, imagine this but worse. Imagine this, but all the life has been ripped from my body. It's but yeah, it's I'm doing my best here. So each playset. What are they actually? So playset, like 80s toy set production. You know what? I'm gonna toy set collection. Actually, I should say playset Hot Wheels collection kit. See, hi Ryan's World. See, I've realized, like the thing is, I've realized very early on that there's there's always a term for something. Like, that's the worst part. I've realized there is a term for something. And what I mean by that is, what do you call the things that you press the button on the playset and a trap door opens up? What do you call that? Like an interaction point? Like, I'm trying to think of like equally the most like corporate way of wording it, but also a very like, this is a normal word that people use. Because I realized this when I was watching Defunctland. Because unfortunately for me, I have decided to go down the rabbit hole yet again and watch all of Defunctland again, because I just really like Defunctland. And he was talking about the nature of an e-ticket with the fast pass. Never quite understood, because he mentions it in other videos, but the term e-ticket is the best access for rides at Disney. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just a term now. Oh, you got your e-ticket. Or, oh, yeah, this is the E, yeah. And I'm like, oh, because I realized very quickly is that there's always a term that people who know the jargon will call things, even though it's completely insane. Like, a function button? Like, sounds weird. Like, there's always a term. But see, I would use gizmo. The problem is we use gizmos already. We do technically use the term gizmos already. But I'm like, okay, we can't use gizmos. I would like to use gizmos, but let's that, yeah, also that has been a consistent issue with this game as well. Notepad looks at a thing and be like, ah, this is a great term. What do you mean there's like 4 fucking words that all have to, what do you mean this means 5 different things? It is a wording nightmare, I swear to fucking God. Let's ask the consortium, everybody. Here, what would you call the interaction points on a playset, on a toy playset? What would you call the interaction points on a toy playset? Alright. I'm doing. How do I? We're coming from the Bronx. See, I can't even say that because I talk to people from the Bronx, and a lot of people from the Bronx sound, fun fact, they sound very Puerto Rican. God bless the Puerto Ricans. That's all I gotta say there, kids. Let's, okay, you know, we're gonna, let's see, each playset has a number of, well, let's call it points for now. Number 90s Bronx. Gibbity gabbity goobity, what are we doing? See, I could attempt to, oh god, I'm losing my voice. See, this is the problem at this point, is my throat's getting shredded apart. I can't even my boopity boppity beepity. Unfortunately, if I try to strain my voice to go any higher, it's not working. It's very funny when you start realizing you're losing your voice, because things go horribly wrong. Each playset has a number of points that allow the stars, villains, or henchmen. Each playset has a number of points that allow the stars, villain, or henchman to interact with, to influence their checks, or to trigger other parts of the playset. Each playsets will have a 4 to 8 points. Let's see. Oh gosh. Alright, let's do it. Whoa! Let's fucking go! Ah! See, the worst part is, I think I might have to call the stream early. I'm gonna try my best, but I don't know if you can hear, my voice is getting worse. Trying to be cool and all. I will go as long as I physically feel like I can. We will probably have a stream as well on Sunday. I didn't really anticipate my voice dying. No, Spartan, you don't understand. I've got my coffee here, and that's all that I really need, right? I've got water, we got coffee. See, I've been, I know it's not just because I'm coughing and things. It is because I know that I'm coughing a lot because all the fucking phlegm in my nose and all that stuff up there is going into my throat, so I keep coughing, and that's not very fun, which is shredding my throat to make it more difficult to do anything. Hence why I do sound like a chain smoker right now. Ow. And anytime I cough, it gets worse. It's great. I love the playsets will have 4 to 8 points. Skywalker, sir, what are you doing? Oh. Right. We can put his face on the God Emperor throne and call him God Emperor again. I will get sued. I don't want to get sued by like 4 different groups over that. Oh, there's a new Amazing Digital Circus episode. Wow. Woo! Amazing Digital Circus. Okay. I've watched every episode at this point. I should like I'm in. I'm like, Playsets will have 4 to 8 points. Hey, that's a good idea. We can put a pad. Each pad. Each pad. So, each pad. Hello. Later. I made web. I'll have you know, I do technically have. I need Force Notepad to review Inquisitor, the only Warhammer game that is obscure enough for us to get a Notepad Emperor. See, the weird thing is, I do know quite a bit about Inquisitor. You may think that's, man, why the fuck do you know Inquisitor? Because if you want a modern day look at what Inquisitor would be, go to Enforcer. Enforcer on DTRPG would be by Stormforge. That is literally Inquisitor for the modern day. Cringe lore, but we don't talk about the lore. So oh god, that's me trying to hit a high note. Each pad, each function does. Taking part in or as the result of taking part in or actively taking part in the point as a result of the entering or taking part in even entering leaving the action These fall into 4 major, broadly speaking, these fall into 4 major categories. Each pad is associated with action. 4 broad categories. 4. Actually, we want to do, was Enforcer a game you made or only that you reviewed and endorsed that was endorsed by the maker? He sent me Enforcer to review, but I've worked with Stormforger before. I've worked with them before. I'm not signed on to them or anything. The main guy has paid me to make him games. Oh god, why is there so much? Yes, that is the legal thing I have to say. Let's see, play set. So we want to do. I think the first easiest one is damage. Like if we're really thinking about this, the easiest one is damage. Actually, what we can do. Pad result, trigger on, trigger on, dot Description. Description. Alright, so. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Alright. Okay, so basic results is just damage. Trigger on so triggers on entering or leaving, which is the idea that you are taking this damage whenever you enter or leave the point. Does someone say, oh, oh, ooh, mm. Mm. Instant harm. We'll do instant harm. Mm. Mm. Okay. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Instant harm, which is the idea of instant harm is but that also means that you can shove people into other points. That's one of the ideas there. So, there we go, which is actually let's actually no, it would be the they automatically take the PAB in damage. When determining kind of the idea that you're kind of knocking people into things. So actually, we want to do cinematic. We do cinematic, which is performing action. Yeah. Go. Yep, that is literally all you need to do. You just need to be you literally just add dice. That is all that happens. You just get more dice to roll. Let's see. What do I want to do. Yeah, we want to do. So we want to do. So let's see. So stage, and this would be control room. There we go. Yep, you hit the button in the control room and something will happen. Why? Because it is a show where something like that happened. So actually, so let's see. Trigger on enter exit action so yeah. Let's see. Someone say. Okay. Okay, I can do this. We're gonna keep trying, everybody. I do feel my voice going though. Let's so this would be trigger on specific action. Point will offer. The point will offer its pad when performing the action as appropriate. Or when, or the action when appropriate. That should work. So this would be, what would be the, it's effectively the, you are in the place you're supposed to be, and because you're in the place you're supposed to be, things are easier now. You just get a bonus to an action. But it's like, what do you describe that at, though? That's the question. Okay. Alright. Oh shit. Okay. Alright. I can do this. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to call it after this. Alright. I can do this though. Apologies for the shorter stream today. This is a new one. Not lying, by the way, as well. I want you all to know this. And I don't even know how I sound right now. That's the worst part. Ugh. Surrender to oblivion, exactly. You understand. You sound like Ojima Lee. You sound in pain. What's that supposed to mean? Rest your throat. I am fine. I will probably be streaming on Sunday, trying to get more of this done. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, by the way. I will try to finish this up. I guess alone.